Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. So this time it is right after the initial kind of features and expansion talk from Blizzard, and I'm going to talk immediately about what I think a lot of people are going to be the most interested in. It is player housing, dialed up to 11, absolutely amazing. My mind is blown by how they've actually managed to get something like this into the game, and I'm damn excited. So it's called the Garrison system, and essentially you build your own base. It's WoW player housing, amazing. And you can gather followers, and your followers can do things like missions and stuff like that. And in terms of building your base and constructing, you get plots of land, and they said it's a little bit like a strategy game. I thought it was similar in a way to, if you ever see those games like Ebony or something like that, where you can build up your base. I thought it was a little bit like that, and it's fully customizable in a lot of different ways, which I'll go into later. There's also offline progression. The followers that you gain can do missions for you, and these missions say you could send them on a raid which takes a week, you could send them on a raid which takes a day, a dungeon that takes a day, or just a quest which takes a few hours. And these are integrated directly into the world in a way that does seem to be quite cool, in that when you tell your followers to go, they disappear from your base and they come back with lots of stuff. Your base itself is using their phasing technology, so it doesn't, like, you don't run off into a portal, which is your garrison. Nope, it's just in the world, in the place of your choosing. You choose what zone it's in. There's also rewards such as epic gear for your character, and there's land to call your own, unique benefits for your followers, and then there's also unique buffs and things like that different buildings can give you. There's limited access to some other professions. For example, you can build a mine and get mining nodes, and you could perhaps put an NPC on that mine, one of your little followers, and they will give you some stuff, like some ore, which sounds really cool. So your garrison is expanded over 3 different tiers. And essentially tier 1 is smaller, tier 3 is bigger, and they've done this in quite a cool way. So as your garrison grows from tier to tier, you get more plots of land, and on these different plots you can put more buildings, stuff like armory, stables, etc., which all have their own unique upgrades and benefits. You can choose the location of your garrison, and whenever you want, you can move it. I'm assuming this is via some sort of arcane means, because it would be a lot of logistical work to move an entire base. Your followers walk around the place, and basically it's meant to feel quite vibrant and alive. You can also show off different monuments, trophies, and that kind of thing, and this is tied to achievements perhaps, such as you can mount the head of an enemy which you've slain, which I think is pretty damn cool. Now for buildings, there is upgrades and bonuses. They affect your character when you're outside the garrison, and they can also buff your different followers. For example, if you have an infirmary, it means that the recovery time for your followers is shorter, and you can spec buildings as well. So once you hit the 3rd tier, then you can get a special large upgrade to a building, which is its specialization. Kind of like the final tier of a talent tree in a way. Perhaps the infirmary at its 3rd tier can give you, say, a free daily resurrection, which maybe gives you no res sickness or anything like that, and it's just nice and convenient. And you can also put them where you want in your base. There's also a building called the Inn. In this you can find new followers, and there's a chance of getting a new follower each day. There's also limited access to the cooking profession via this. It has different specs. For example, you can spec it so that there's a higher chance of, say, a tank appearing in the end to hire. And the upgrades, from what I saw in the video they showed, are very visual and very impressive. They also showed a work-in-progress user interface for it. It looked quite usable, pretty cool. And then they showed a time-lapse for upgrading it, and there definitely is a great aesthetic to the upgrades. They are meaningful and they are large, which is very cool. And there is separate Horde and Alliance art. They didn't really show any of the Horde versions, but I'm assuming they just aren't made yet. So at some point, we'll probably find out about that. In terms of followers, these are essentially like they're like player characters in a way. I was really surprised by how much depth they went into them. You can find them throughout the world, maybe through factions, through your inn, different things like that. They want there to be multiple ways of finding these, and they can actually have different quality levels, just like it is with pets. You can send them on missions and that kind of thing, and they get XP. They level from level 90 to 100 along with the player, with you, that is, and once they max out, you can equip them with better and better gear to give them a higher item level. They also have abilities and traits, so if you were to line up the abilities and traits of one of your guys with, say, a mission, then you'd have a higher chance of success, or maybe you get better loot, that kind of thing. And they can also be customized in terms of name and that sort of stuff. They also said there's a large variety of missions, such as specialized missions, and these specialized missions are unlocked via buildings. So, as they said, if you have an infirmary, then you can do a rescue mission where you go and rescue something. Now, that's really all I have to say about this at the minute, and I should try to get as many screenshots via MMO Champion as I can. The reason why I'm not putting in any direct footage from the stream is because that would break copyright, and MMO Champion, I'm just assuming if I take a screenshot from there, then I'm kind of covered. I think. If the channel gets DMCA to death, you'll probably notice because it won't be there. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.